What's up, guys? Readiness Rations here with you again. And I have here what I think is the freshest case of MREs that I've ever personally run into. But these are not just regular MREs. This is a case of mill cold weathers. These are US military rations meant to replace the MRE, or meal ready to eat, in extreme cold environments. And this case was produced on the 284th day of 2021. Making these super fresh. I can't wait to bust this case open to check it out. But before we do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like seeing military ration reviews on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel to catch all my future military ration reviews. Now let's take this super fresh case of MCWs over to the reviewing desk and crack into it. Here's our case of mill cold weather. It is still banded and sealed. As stated before, these were packed in 2021 and they have a listed inspection date of October 2024. However, mill cold weathers can most certainly last far beyond that 3-year date. This case should contain 12 mils. It was packed by Sopatco in Mullins, South Carolina. And I think it's about time that we open it up. Pop these bands first and rip it open. There's our beautiful white mill cold weather bags. Let's see what menus are included. First off there, we have a beef stew, scrambled eggs with cheese, Western style, spaghetti with meat sauce, rice and chicken, Mexican, scrambled eggs with bacon, breakfast skillet, turkey tetrazzini, chicken and rice, spicy oriental chicken with rice, beef stroganoff with noodles, chili macaroni with beef, and finally, seafood chowder. So they did include a full 12 mils. For this particular review, I'm feeling like rice and chicken, Mexican. A single mill cold weather is supposed to be a replacement for an MRE. They come in at about 1,500 calories, which puts them a little bit higher than the average calorie count on a normal MRE. And that's because in extreme cold weather environments, soldiers need a little bit more calories to keep the body going. Let's open this one up and see what's inside. First thing in there is our main entree. These are packed by Mountain House, and as opposed to a regular MRE, which are a retort pouch main, milled cold weathers have a freeze-dried main. That is freeze-dried Mexican style rice and chicken, 5.39 ounces, and the one full pouch serving size comes in at 650 calories, 92 grams of carbohydrates, a whopping 18 grams of dietary fiber, and a substantial 36 grams of protein. That is manufactured by OFD, which is Oregon Freeze-Dried Foods. Next we have a beverage-based powdered grape, 180 calories, a 2.5 ounce package of cornbread, coming in at 260 calories with 41 grams of carbs, an accessory package, which we'll check out in just a moment, a chocolate banana nut dessert bar, 230 calories, and that is a 1.4 ounce bar, and a 2 ounce package of cranberries coming in at 200 calories and containing a massive 37 grams of sugar. Lastly in the package is our MRE spoon. Mill cold weathers are certainly not keto friendly. Let's take a look at this accessory package. In that we have a pack of peppermint gum, an Enjoy brand sugar pack, moist towelette, a freeze-dried coffee, 4 grams of creamer, non-dairy, dry, a Lighthouse toilet paper, tan pack of matches with white tips, and lastly, a super fresh little bottle of Tabasco. The color of this is so much more orange than I'm used to. It's bright and vibrant. I've worked up quite the appetite today, so let's get this plated up and dig in. The mill cold weather does utilize a freeze-dried main entree, so in order to consume this, you need a substantial amount of hot water. The main actually calls for 16 ounces. That was under a really good vacuum. But that's what the mix on the inside of the pouch looks like. See beans, chicken chunks, and rice. I always like to try out freeze-dried food in its unrehydrated form because you can also eat it like this. You just have to consume water separately. So let's try one of these chicken chunks. Super crisp and crunchy. Pretty delicious, actually. I see something with this menu, though, that I might regret choosing this one, and that is these black olives. Oh no, my nemesis. I absolutely cannot stand olives. I'll eat just about anything. I really will. Now, I know you guys have seen that on the channel. I'm not an olive fan, though. Hopefully those don't ruin the whole dish for me. I guess we won't know until we try it out, so let's get this rehydrating. I have my 16 ounces of water that was just boiling. We'll add that. I'm gonna add about half, give it a little stir, and then add the other half. In my last freeze-dried review I did, someone was pretty mad at me because I didn't put the directed amount of water. I cut it short by a couple ounces. And I usually do that because otherwise these meals come out soupy. But in this situation, I went ahead and put the full 16 ounces. Now that I got that mixed up, I do want to give it a little shake just to make sure everything is well mixed. Being very careful because this is super hot. And we are directed to wait at least 10 minutes on that. While we're dealing with hot water, we'll knock out the coffee as well. From the William James Coffee Company, we have Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee, 1.5 grams, and we are instructed to add 6 ounces of water or 1/4 of a canteen cup. Large freeze-dried granules. Smells pretty good in dried form. I will also add the non-dairy creamer and the Enjoy sugar because I like my coffee sweet. That sugar was a little bit clumped, kind of odd with this ration being so super fresh. Add our 6 ounces of hot water. That mixed up almost instantly. For instant coffee, that's smelling pretty decent. Go ahead and get the cold drink going as well. Beverage base powder grape, no fruit juice, and it looks to be the blue powder. It looks fairly white in my hand, but it has a blue color to it down in the pouch. That calls for the standard 12 ounces of water. I'm using cold water for this. That's about 12, and we will zip that top, give that a couple folds over, and a vigorous shaking to mix. In the field, you would have the option to drink straight out of this pouch. For a review of this nature, though, I do like to pour it into a glass so you can get a better look. Now, it's very purple. And it's a bit chunky despite all my vigorous shaking. Try a sip of that coffee now that it's had a moment of rest. Still super hot. It's very mild. Has a very slight bitterness. Despite all that sugar, it's not overly sweetened. The creamer did a nice job of lightening things up. It tastes a lot like a coffee instant type 3 in my opinion. Mild and easy to drink and would most certainly be very comforting if served hot in Arctic environments. Open up this chocolate banana nut dessert bar. I've never had this item before, so I'm pretty excited to try it out. It looks like a fudge bar. I guess those bits in there are the nuts, and it smells of artificial banana. That's a little bit disappointing, but I'm still holding out hope that that'll be pretty good. These cranberries are not listed as being osmotic. The only ingredients in there are cranberries, sugar, and sunflower oil. Those look like they're fresh and new out of the store because at this point they basically are. A little bit greasy, smell really potent of cranberry. And the last item to open up here is our cornbread. It looks like it's a round piece of cornbread. They do put a do not eat in there. And of course, we're not gonna eat that. But that cornbread smells awesome. These are so sweet. Usually they're almost like a dessert item. No doubt that will be tasty with our main entree. I think the main still needs another couple minutes. So let's go ahead and try out these cranberries. I got a big clump of them here. They're just basic dried cranberries. See how they taste. Perfect. Sweet, chewy, very tart, which I love. That's the first bite of food I've had other than that one little piece of chicken in the past 24 hours. And those are going down very easily. Peak freshness, absolutely perfect. Best cranberries I've had in a ration for sure. I can't stop eating them. Now that the coffee's cooled down some, I can drink it a lot easier. And it doesn't taste sweet at all after eating those super sweet cranberries. It must be pretty good because there's just one little sip left. And the coffee is done. Not bad. Let's get a nibble of our cornbread. Break off that corner piece. There's a look at the inside. Sort of a cakey texture, very soft. A lot of sugar in this, and certainly a sweet cornbread. That's great though. Perfect. If you had some kind of frosting or icing to put on this, it would be a dessert. It has just the slightest bit of graininess from the cornmeal. Man, that is great. Very moist too. It's not drying my mouth out, oddly enough. Our grape drink has a bit of a head to it, I guess. It didn't dissolve the best shaking in the bag. It's a little bit clumpy, especially on the top. Let's try it out though. Very, very sweet. Slightly tart, and a pretty pungent artificial grape flavor, which admittedly is not among my favorites. Hey, that's not too bad though. It's drinkable, especially if you're a fan of grape. Our Mexican style chicken and rice has had beyond the 10 minutes to rehydrate at this point. It's solidified a good deal. Let's get it on the tray and see how it did. Oh yeah, thick and stewy. As always, a huge portion in these Mountain House entrees. Basically everything poured right out. There's a few spots that didn't quite rehydrate. Let's get in close on this and take a look at it. So we have our beans. Those appear to be red beans. There are, most unfortunately, little bits of black olive all throughout this. And our chicken chunks, there's not nearly as many chicken chunks as there are beans. That's probably one of the reasons that the fiber count on this entree is so high. Looks like we have a couple flakes of either red bell pepper or even possibly carrot that's a little bit orange looking. Let's mix in this dried portion. Of course, this is very saucy. I see a couple green flakes too, so I'm thinking it has red bell pepper and green bell pepper in it, and tons of rice. The portion is enormous. These meals are issued 3 per day, or at least they're supposed to be. If you were to eat 3 portions of food like this a day, I guarantee you're staying full. Now in practice, soldiers rarely get the optimal issuance of rations. The aroma coming off of this is a lot like a chili, and I'm assuming there's a good deal of chili powder in this, along with probably some onion powder and garlic powder, I would assume. Get a big bite with everything in it. Beans, olives, chicken, peppers, and rice, and down the hatch we go. Okay. Hey, that was really good. It's ever so slightly crunchy. Some of the bits didn't rehydrate all the way, but we knew that going into it because we saw that when we dumped it out. And those little crunchy bits just add some texture variation, so no big deal. I like it. There is a tomato base to the sauce. I'm not tasting olives, so I'm very glad of that. The beans rehydrated perfectly. That bite I just had a chicken chunk in it, and that was great. We'll take a closer look at one of these chicken chunks. They look to be a partially processed product, sort of formed and pressed. They're a little bit spongy and sort of water absorptive, but they have a nice flavor to them. I'm not picking up on the olives one bit. It's just in the mix, and it all mixes up very well. This is a very tasty main. Mountain House food is always good. It's no big surprise to me that I like this, but nonetheless, I'm still happy I do. Well, we have the cornbread, so we'll try a bit of cornbread with a bit of our rice and chicken. The cornbread brings a sweetness that this main doesn't have normally. This entree has just the slightest bit of spiciness that goes fairly well with the sweetness of the cornbread. Plus the cornbread just adds another little texture layer that's pretty enjoyable. A solid combo for sure. Oh man, I am really enjoying this. Such a massive portion too. If you were wondering where I picked this case up from, it was from a website called Safety Supplies. These cases are coming in at $100 a case, and for something so fresh that you could store up for 10 years and still eat, these things are a great buy and delicious. The Milled Cold Weather, in my opinion, is the best ration that is currently being produced for the US military. Let's take a look at our super fresh Tabasco. The color is just so bright and vibrant. Put a little bit straight on the spoon there. I'm gonna try that bit by itself. I've never had Tabasco this fresh, I don't think. Very tart and spicy. A lot spicier than I remember Tabasco being. Man, this is gonna be great. I'll go ahead and load the rest of the entree up with this. I'm gonna use that whole jar. Awesome pepper flavor. Tabasco has always been a staple hot sauce. Everybody knows what it tastes like, and it mixes perfect with sort of a Tex-Mex kind of combination like this. Spicy, fresh Tabasco. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect spice level. That vinegar kicks up all the other flavors. It just meshes so well. The perfect flavor enhancer for a menu like this. Great. All right, just to say I did it, I've isolated a black olive, and I'm gonna try it by itself, even though they are the bane of my culinary existence. That's about the most mild black olive I've ever encountered. Not at all offensive. I think some of its flavors have been extracted by the rest of the mix. You know this is pretty good if I'm improving a meal with black olives in it. I just can't get enough. There's the grape drink. Last thing to try is our banana nut dessert bar. Break that in half. It broke very easily. On the inside, there's a little bit of melty looking chocolate, chunks of nuts, and it basically looks like a chocolate fudge. Let's give that a try. It melts in the mouth super easily. It has a decent little crunch when you run into one of the walnuts that are in there that are perfectly fresh, and it has little melty bits of chocolate chips in it. It's so luscious and creamy. It melts just perfectly. Super rich for an MRE item. It does have an artificial banana flavor, but I'm not finding that overly offensive. Again, that's a complete win. Awesome, awesome menu item. Well, all right, guys, that was the review, and possibly the freshest US military ration I've ever consumed personally. Milled Cold Weather, menu number 9, rice and chicken Mexican, packed in late 2021. And that, my friends, is a 5-star ration meal. Really, about as good as it gets when it comes to US military rations. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That helps it out with the Google algorithm and getting it out to other viewers. To see all my future ration reviews like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment and let me know what you thought about this ration and your opinion of Milled Cold Weathers and US military rations in general. I'm certainly looking forward to working my way through that case over the course of the next several years. Thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate each and every viewer, and I will catch you in the next video. See you then. Peace.